Welcome to Money Convos, where we discuss personal finance and investment tips. We're committed to helping people create wealth and achieve financial freedom. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast. All right then, let's head into today's conversation.
Yeah, hello, Elikem.
Bishop, how you doing?
I'm good, by God's grace. Yourself?
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful bright new day.
Yeah, sure.
I know it's late at night, but I know we talked on Friday, so no, it's not been that much per minute. But anyway.
It's been a minute on the show.
Yeah. Wonderful. It's good to have you back. The convention went well?
Charlie did, but
is it a conference or convention?
Conference to convention, and it stressed me out big time. So it was back to back Sunday to Sunday. So by the time
last session, our last Money Convo session, we were asking questions, right? And one of the questions that was asked, Dennis asked this question, like, what's the benefits we get from doing some of these things? So I'm curious, what's the benefits you get from doing, put Money Convos aside, like these church activities that you do and organizing people, the youth and all that stuff? Well, I know it's stressful, but I'm sure you think about those things to keep you going, right?
Yeah, the benefits, well, they are numerous. I've learned to do a lot of things. I think a lot of the skills that I have acquired actually came from organizing these things. You've learned to, even before I entered into project management and construction and everything, I have been doing things about budgeting, because you have an event, you have to plan budget, you have to coordinate people, you have to deal with the venue, and juggling all these things together. It's a lot of work, and you get a lot of skills and learning through the process. Yeah, so it's been interesting. It's helped me. I've learned a lot because I've operated in several layers. I've done media work. Now I do more of announcements and information management in the church. And then youth mentorship and all of that. So you can imagine the broad level of work that I do. So I think it has taught me a lot of skills that I think I subconsciously apply them in other places without realizing that is how easily I learned it in church. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's interesting. Non-spiritual benefits, but a benefit that does help you as a person.
Yeah, sure.
I think I mentioned here on the show before that I was talking to someone who was asking me for career advice, and he said a challenge he has is with talking. He's afraid of public speaking. I could just like you are saying, read announcements, do a Bible reading in church, and very soon you'll get over that thing.
Sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. All these different angles that you've been participating in. And our society thanks you for your good work. And you still have more energy to come and join us here. One of the things the first thing you mentioned about the lessons you've learned from doing these kind of things was budgeting. And that leads into the conversation we're going to have today.
Yeah, sure.
Because December has come. We are inside the December. We are squarely inside it. What some people call dirty December. I saw the reel on our this guy for our audience who may not be seeing this. It's a guy he's been South, a Ghanaian comedian who does skits. I like his content, and he got an alert. He realized that his January end. His December as well as January salary had been paid to him. And the usual excitement when people see money that's more than normal in their account. Let's go blow that money. So it's like he called his girl and he was like, see, let's go. He's got money now. He's going to blow it. He's they're not looking at the prices. They are going to spend money that day. Then he looked back and there was somebody in a shirt. What was it? Is it hanger or something? January hanger or something at his door. And we're just beckoning him like, go. We're going to come back and meet me. And he thought twice and was like, nah. He called the girl and said, you know what? Just come back and just come home and let them do MPC in the house. So yeah, that's what we are coming to do here. We are coming to be the voice of reason to people. We're gonna warn people about the hazard of spending all your money this season. People feel like at this point you've worked hard all year round. This month we don't do budgets. We don't do none of that. Don't watch your spending. Just blow all the money. But January usually feels like a long time, especially because people are usually broke and they just can't wait till the end, and it feels so long. We want to avoid that. Last year we had this conversation in January, too late. This time we have enough time to warn you before you start spending the money. So first thing we're going to start off is looking at how you should budget for this. So Adam, any thoughts on how people should budget for this particular month and the extraordinary expenses, and to make sure that they are well prepared for January?
Yeah, Elikem, thanks. I think you've given a good background. I think one of the ways to look at this whole December expense is that, when you are paid in December, your salary for December, that's if it's a salary you have made, you should have it in mind that that money is what you're supposed to spend in January. Because normally we are paid and then whatever we get paid, that's what we spend for the next month. So if you start from that angle, then it helps you to realize the kind of income you have and what is available to you to spend during the period. And also maybe if you are fortunate to receive maybe a 13th month or some bonus or some extra monies from here and there, you should also consider all your extra, like you mentioned something called extraordinary expenses that you have to incur, because unlike other months, this month has more of events, occasions, parties and stuff like that you might have to be part of, and even maybe giving of gifts and all of that. So I think that it's important to sit down, as we've been saying in most of our discussions, if you followed Money Convos up until now, is to have a global view of what you want to do, and then see what income you have or what available income is there to match those expenses. And then that will help you to prioritize and know that, okay, I can do this, I can afford this, I cannot afford that, and do what you have within your means. But I think sometimes when we are talking, maybe people think we have something against having a good time, but it's far from that. I think that if you followed Money Convos, we've always talked about the fact that do whatever you want to do, but just make sure that you are planning for it, you are budgeting for it, so later you don't turn around and realize that you are in a bad spot, or you are in a place that you would regret and be in a position where you are vulnerable, or you are in debt, or you are going a begging. That is what we want people to avoid. We want that whatever you are going to do, just make sure you have planned and budgeted appropriately so that you don't regret. So I think start from that angle of looking at what you have available. But I would look at it as December salary is for January, so that is not touched. Any other special monies and maybe what we have for November and other things is what I'm going to use the budget with for spending in December, so that come January I'm not hot or found wanting. Yeah,
that's powerful. That's powerful stuff. So the idea is that we are not trying to force you to not enjoy life. We actually the opposite is we want you to enjoy life, but like the alcohol adverts go, drink responsibly, enjoy responsibly. Yeah, that's what we want you to do. So Adam, I hate to say I told you so, but at this point, I guess this is where the stuff we've been saying all throughout the year, encouraging people to put money away, plan well ahead of time. Because if it's an issue of you're in December right now, and you're already worried about how you're going to cover these extraordinary expenses, or how you're going to survive January, then it becomes an issue of you should have saved ahead of time. So not to sound like, and I told you so, but I think this is a good point for anyone who's feeling that type of way to reflect and go, what could I have done differently during the year to make sure I don't get to this point, right? Where I'm not sure where the money is going to come from. But we'll circle back to preparedness. We are in the moment right now. Ways of budgeting, right? I'll share mine, and I want to know how your holiday budget, how you build your holiday budget. I think the word budget seems daunting to some people, but I like the idea of a spending plan. So mine is, I have looked at my rent for January. I've put it in a savings account. Whatever is left, we can't kill them. So basically, I've set a number. If I enjoy, and that number finishes, then it's done. I just stay at home and drink water. If I'm able to stretch that number by making sure that, okay, I don't go to the most expensive places, I don't do the most expensive things, that amount of money can go the further. So all I know is there's no support coming from elsewhere. I've set aside enough money to cover my bills for January, and the rest is going to enjoyment. That's my strategy usually for Christmas. How about you?
Yeah, Elikem, I think that's an interesting and a very simple way, okay, and that will help people not to feel like they are stressed out. And what I used to do, which this year I didn't really stick to it, probably because I had a lot of other commitments, is that, like you were saying, the preparedness part, I always used to have a certain amount set aside for December. And then come December, that's what I'm going to circle on. This time around, what I'm actually doing, just similar to what you have, is set a certain amount of money aside for January expenses, like my regular expenses, just to make sure that I can go through the month of January. And then similar to you, I also have some amounts of money that I know that is available for buying gifts, for doing extra shopping, and then going out, and then spending on myself and what have you. So kind of similar to how you have approached it. It's just, just about the same way. That most important thing is that make sure that, for me, amount of money that I need to survive in January is aside. Then we can manage the ballpark figure that I have for December. Do this, do that. And then basically try to do things within my means, okay? Because now, compared to previous years, things are a little bit more expensive, as you can see from inflation rates and all that. So we would have to find ways of making sure that the money stretches and does more things than you could otherwise do. Yeah. So that's basically my strategy.
That's great. Oh, okay. I hope this is a case of great minds think alike. I know that you're a great mind, so if your mind is similar to mine, then hopefully I'm thinking the right way. Mimi's coming up. Mimi, how are you doing?
I'm well, Elikem. Thanks for being with me.
No problem. So we are just talking about, preparing people for January. Making sure we catch them before they blow their money. And we just mentioned how we are going about doing budgeting. I think both Adam and I have strategies that are similar to setting a number aside or some money aside. But first, making sure that our expenses for January are covered. And then whatever is left, that we use at our discretion. Do you have any other way you do your budget for the holidays? You are a mother and a wife, and you have so many expenses, and a family person, so you have a whole lot of extraordinary expenses. How do you prepare for those?
Good evening, everyone. Well, I think I've been in a situation where I get 13th month, and so normally part of the 13th month will go towards, holiday expenses, and part towards savings, which is what I normally do. So I don't find myself wanting. But this year has been a bit different because I changed jobs, and the time that I changed jobs. I got a 13th month, but it was some pure money. So yes, this year I've had to do a bit more strategizing. So with the some pure money, I sort of put it aside because normally Christmas I give away stuff to like maybe my nanny or my kids teacher or something, maybe something for my parents, and purchasing some stuff for the home. So I've even I think in November I just gave the thing to the lady. I'm like, do you know what? I don't even want this money in my account. Just take the money. I gave my parents something, and the rest that's left, I put it down and said, okay, for the family, this is going to be our shopping money. Fortunately, I've not been paid my December salary, but I hear it will be coming soon. What I plan to do is I've opened a savings account. So my current account and my savings account are all with one bank. So I use the app to move money that I don't want to be spending immediately into the savings account, and that account requires either has like a plan, maybe some short-term expenses, or money I've not yet thought about, maybe exactly how I'm using. I just want to put it aside and like think through it. So that's what I do. I have an idea of what we are spending this December. I know that this December may not necessarily be like other Decembers where I do show and like I chill, because as I said, this 13th month wasn't that much. So for me, I think we should have even done this thing earlier, because a lot of those where I work are saying that their money is finished. And those who got the full money got 13th month and they got 14th month, but they are saying their money is already finished. What I think some of them mean is, I saw someone save or invest part of their money. So I'm sure they mean the money in their current account is finished. But I'm sure there are those who have finished blowing the money because they came like in November. So, if you are looking at buying a fridge, changing your phone, all sorts of ideas, will come up. So I think we should have had this earlier. But let's assume you haven't received the 13th month first, and you are sure it will be paid. I think that before the money comes, have in place a plan, so that when it comes, because it's like we have a long list of things that we need to do. And if you are not careful, when the money comes, so we just go into all these things and you're back to square one, or you even go into December, because the December salary normally comes very early. So you may actually spend that money, like really chill hard, ball hard in December and suffer in January. So basically have a plan for December, like has been said. If you are not disciplined enough, just take the money you need for January and just hide it somewhere. If you don't trust yourself, give it to somebody you trust. Go and lock it somewhere so that you're also secure, in January.
That's a more detailed plan. And I like how you are adjusting to the new reality. Your previous reality was you could do show girl, yeah, but now the new reality is you can't. And I think that's a good point for a lot of people. Some people, that lifestyle inflation, we need to, when our circumstances change, we need to understand that they have changed and reduce our expenses to adjust for it, so that would save us a whole lot of issues. If you know that you've had some significant economic issues this year and we are not as liquid as you've been in previous years, you're not alone in this. A lot of people understand. They understand that back in the days you were doing fried rice. Now if you do just jollof or some plain rice and stew, it's fine. Or they can go and eat in their own house or not so. Yeah, that's interesting. So speaking of making our monies go far, right? How about we look at what can we do to make sure that our money actually goes far? Now I'm hesitant because as speakers, people, it's not like they're going to jam. So you can't relate to some people. You can't, but I guess I'll represent the people who go and party, and maybe can represent the family people, and Adam can represent the single good boys. So now I'll just cover the bad boys. So And then, any thoughts about how you can let your money stretch far? For me, one thing, just to insert something real quick, one thing I'm doing is selling. I've got some big speakers that I got on discount. If you need to come house, just come home. Have a big house. Come home. I have a big house to myself for some weeks. Come home and let us jollificate over there rather than we go outside, right? So, and then continue with the tradition in the US. If you are coming, bring your own bottles, buy some sticks of kiva as you are coming. What matters is that we are together and we are vibing, right? So that's one way to stretch the money. Adam, any thoughts?
Only I was just laughing right now. I just remember the Twitter so I saw where somebody said the way Accra is hot, he just went for, is it a party or wedding or something, and somebody had popped in and was wondering, was asking whether is it a birthday party or a wedding, like Charlie. So what came to my mind is that, look, take advantage of all the free food that comes around in case your office is doing some get together or something. Charlie, take advantage. Go. That one, you are not going to spend so much money. Or like for me, like this, I know probably by church, there's some bring and share something coming on one of the days. Take advantage and go for some of these free events, That one you will not spend so much money. You get it. So that's one way. And like you were saying, you have some friends around, you could gather in your house, share some time together, everybody brings something, you do. It does not necessarily have to be a fancy place before you could have fun. Okay, so the way things are going, some of the places, when you go, me like this, I don't like overcrowded places. So someone like, if you are like me, then you can hang out with some of your friends in your homes or around smaller, maybe pubs or neighborhood corner spots and things, which don't really have overpriced things. I understand. Then maybe you save 1 or 2 days for the highly priced place and take some pictures and put on your snap, just so that you're also flowing with the dirty December. And at the end of the 31st, nobody will look at your face and say that, oh, did you go to Bloom or did you go to wherever? And then before you will be admitted into 2024, we will all enter by the grace of God. So, Charlie, where your pockets can take you to, you do it and then you stretch your money a little. And then we'll be fine. We'll all meet at the other side by the grace of God. Yeah.
Amen. We'll all meet on the other side. Charlie, this strategy you're talking about, I totally agree. A friend was asking me, oh, so this Christmas, what do you want to do? I'm like, bro, I just want to live. I just want to live. Treat it as any normal day. I feel like if people get clued into what's going on in social media and they make a list, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. Okay, I'm all for planning, right? I'm all for planning, and that's good. But it depends on what you're planning for. I encourage people, don't, if you want to be financially conscious, manage the information that comes to you. Don't pay too much attention to the events that are going on. Control your stories. There are many friends I've taken off my Instagram story. I don't want to be seeing them enjoying life. I'm happy for them enjoying life. I'm very happy for them, but I don't want to see it on my stories. It's just unnecessary pressure. You understand? So I better not hear about it, feel it's nothing. Manage the information that comes to you. You understand? Also, you don't have to go for every event. If you look at it, if you want to look at one calendar and pick from 2 events, one big one every 2 weeks, in December, that will cover the month, right? Then when you go, you take plenty videos, different angles. Then if you are worried about social media doing this thing, what we call it, fear of missing out, you release them from this more. Release it small. Sometimes, like, school gets so boring, and yet people say, oh, I've been seeing that you're chilling. So ask why. I don't post, but people post me. I only went for one major party in the whole 4 or 5 months, and yet they saw 1 or 2 videos and they think I'm enjoying it. It is one day. It's a look. So, that's some of, if you absolutely can't avoid the fear of missing out, that's one strategy. Just manage yourself, do 1 or 2, do it big, and then the rest, Charlie, just chill at home with your boys, your girls, or whatever, who else would be more meaningful for you. Anyway, let's So away from the people who, the young and young at heart, let's go to the grandma in the building. Lily, how will you get your money to stretch? Oh no, maybe you're not the grandma. Sorry.
I say,
How will you get your money to stretch? You see, these are the old people who say this word. They'll say you don't expect. You tricked yourself. Anyway. So yeah, maybe how would you suggest in terms of how we spend or our perspective about the holiday that in a way that will get us to stretch our money?
Okay. I was going to say, what do you call it? The video is on YouTube, so if you can't go for his program, just put. Anyway, let me be serious. I think for families, you have to manage expectations. So today I went to for some small shopping, be like that, with my family. And my son started saying, I want this, I want that. We just had to give him some lessons. But I think ideally, someone mentioned to me that giving the kids like a budget, maybe, okay, you all have 100 CDs. What fun thing would you want to do? Getting them to be creative with what they want to do and having fun as a family. I think really it's about the memories, right? It's about having good memories. And good memories doesn't necessarily mean spending. So getting creative to find out, what can we do? And Adam said, I think there are lots of free events. Like this year, one thing is I'm not going to have like a break like I normally do. So I don't even want to be like out that much. But even with this mindset, I already have this Friday, I have an event. Saturday, I have an event. Next Friday, I have something. There's next, like even without wanting to be out there, there's so much to do. So for those who have extra energy, like I don't really know, but like Adam said, look out for events. I've heard stories where people go to Movenpick with their kaftan and just enter one of these events and eat well and go. If you don't have any shame, I mean, there are a lot of weddings in December. You can move around and have fun. A lot of churches will be sharing free jollof and all that. You can also go and join the queue. Like, just have fun, laugh about it, take pictures. Maybe one day when you go and you have money, you laugh about it and share the story. Like, I don't think that because of Christmas, you should enter into 2024 like in debt or in a difficult situation. Because the truth is that Ghana, yes, shit that like today, I went to one shop. I thought they were overly priced. Went to the other shop just to find out that price is near normal. Like things have become quite tough. So I believe that with the little we have, we need to be a bit more intentional. Otherwise, we'll be very uncomfortable. So take advantage of the free food, carol service, whatever. Anywhere there's music and food, you are there. Don't miss out on it. And some of you have friends, maybe your company doesn't do any party, but you have a friend who's from class one. Go and join. Go, and I'm not sure if there's opportunity to pack some home, pack. The next day do Netflix and chill, plus the meat that you packed from. Charlie, have no shame. Just enjoy your life.
Maybe I like what you're saying. And on the latter parts, I think it's important that I add on to clarify some things. We are not necessarily encouraging people to be cheap, right? But we are just encouraging people to do things we already like. We already do. Yes, you go for company parties. Your friend is going for a funeral. You already, we just go and camping with them. Somebody's going for a wedding. Like Mimi said, plus one. See it as strategic plus one. Be a professional plus one. I know some people make jokes about it on social media and things. In fact, a plus one who offers non-profit plus one services. They offer very good company and good conversation. All they have to do is invite you, and you show up in a nice dress, look good, make good conversation, right? It's not something like you're going around begging, because guess what? These events are happening already. These churches will be doing programs, companies will be doing events, a whole lot of people will be doing stuff. why should you fixate on doing the expensive things when the bottom line is you want to be happy, you want to get a break, you want from your monotony, you want to interact with people. Guess what? All those things, you can get it at these other events. Hey, sometimes just go walk around the park. Okay, if you don't want to look like they are cheap, okay, go for some of these concerts that would be free or low price. You don't have to go to some fancy all white thing. Or you can go, but with a plan not to spend too much. Don't go to spend too much. Have enough money to get you there and back. And in case of any issues happen, you can sort yourself out fine. But just hold one bottle and message the whole time. Interact with people. Make the best out of it. You don't always have to go all out when you do things. Is all we are saying, right? So do it. Think about what is in it for you, the social benefits you are looking for, and the break you need, and just see the most efficient way you can get that. And I don't think there's any shame in that. Yeah. Okay. Great. So let's see, guys. We have any other thoughts on how to make sure that we stretch our monies and we leave enough money to survive January? Because today's message, I think, is pretty simple, and we've had this conversation earlier in the year, so I don't want us to go on for too long. You know what they say about a word to the wise is in the north, so we could keep it nice and crisp. But yeah, any other thoughts you want to add?
Yeah, Elikem, this is from a whole funny, different angle, but December, it's a very busy month where we have all sorts of people. I want to take it from the angle of security. If you should be going for especially big events and what have you, how to be security conscious, whether it's about your car or your phones and things, so you don't end up going for the event and now incurring a cost to either buy a new battery or a phone or something. So like you should keep that security consciousness. I know it's something that might not necessarily come to our mind straightforward. It doesn't look like a money hack, but until it happens to you, then you realize that, hey, you are now even worse off. You now have to pull out some, maybe some, how much, 1,000 CDs or whatever, 2,000 or something to buy a battery or to buy a new phone or to buy something else. So, and even our homes, especially if you should go out in the evenings, whether you're living alone or you're living with some people, being security conscious so you don't lose precious valuables. And then in the end, you would have to now cough out monies for these unplanned costs. So that is another thing that I think we should have in our minds, so that we stretch the little money that we have and we not now finish the month and then we are now counting losses. Yeah.
100%. Some of you, like a lot of times, we don't think about risk events, but risk events always happen. Just that we miraculously think it won't happen to us. So thanks for that reminder. Anyway, Mimi, how about you? Let's get you to start giving us like a summary. Any wrap up to prepare people for this season?
Well, I don't know, but I really wish I could just sleep in my bed and watch movies. But anyway, so I'll just say rest. In all the craziness, find time to rest. Because the beginning of the year can be some way. I really don't like January, new targets, new everything. But so rest so that you have like enough energy for the new things that you have to do. Don't overdo December and be tired in January. So that's what I would say. Have fun, but find time to rest.
Energy. Find time to rest. Yeah. It's take advantage of those holidays. I know some people that every holiday they have an activity. They never get chance to rest. I'm talking about some my auntie, but she won't listen, so it's okay. Anyway, Adam, how about you? Any final word?
Yeah, flowing from what Mimi said, it just also got my attention to. I remember, my mom is a retired nurse, and one of the things that used to happen when they resume work in January is how a lot of you have a spike in health issues when we go for Christmas and then the holidays are over. You have a spike in health issues, people with their blood sugar, their hypertensions, and all kinds of things because of the way we say we are going out to have fun, and then if you get free food somewhere, I mean, don't slack and all that. But please, let's do everything that we are doing in moderation so that we won't compromise our health and then come and spend a lot of money right from January attending to. Nowadays, if you go to the hospital, it's not easy. Even just the consultation and then the kinds of tests you might have to run, these cost a lot of money. Even sometimes with insurance, you still will have to cough up some kind of money to be able to match up for the cost. So please, whatever we are doing, let's just make sure we are doing it in moderation so we don't also compromise our health and then come and incur costs trying to treat ourselves come January. So I think flowing from what Mimi said, let's rest, let's take advantage of the rest periods too, and then so that we are rejuvenated by the time we enter into the new year to carry on with the task that is ahead of us.
Sorry, them with the insights. Them with the insights all day, every day. I would invite you to Council of State, because the bus. Anyway, yeah, that's a good word from a health perspective. Great. So for me, my final words for y'all is tune into Money Convos, and for this month we would help you to prepare for next year. Like we'll do a review of our goals for this year. We'll do a Thanksgiving session, like thinking about things we are grateful for, and then we'll talk about our goals for next year, and help us get into the right year so that you mix this holiday season with a good blend of consciousness so that you don't go overboard. But in the holiday spirit though, my word on the holiday spirit really is focus on what's important. Focus on what exactly you want. What do you want? You want a break. You want to enjoy. So you need to know the difference between the needs and the wants. If it's food you want, the need is food. The want is when you want to go and wear. When you want jollof teddy bear in egg blankets, going for 400 cities. Basically, jollof and fried egg going for 400 cities. Now that's a want, not a need. You want to enjoy life. The need part of it is you want to have a good time with your friends. You could just hang out in somebody's house or at a local spot and spend 50 cities per person. The want is when you go all the way out to Bloomberg, Post, Garage, Front Park, all those places, and then go and blow 3,000 cities per person. That is the spectrum of things that we are dealing with, or even more. Separate the needs from the want. Focus on what exact feeling you want out of it, and see how you can efficiently get that. And by all means, have a merry, merry holiday, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. I mentioned earlier, we'll be having some sessions in this season to try to anchor people to our goals and our productivity. So do keep tuning in. And when you get on social media, get on Instagram, follow at investment friend for more tailored investments formation, more tailored towards you, and very exciting content over there. And also follow us here on that's Money Convos on Twitter or X, Facebook. Want to play back, do that on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. And we'll leave you to enjoy this week and start thinking about the goals you were able to achieve this year and the ones you weren't, and start thinking about next year's, and we'll have good conversations about them. Looking forward to talking to you again, maybe same time next week. And do take care. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our thoughts. I hope you learned a thing or two and start practicing. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, and Facebook. And subscribe to our YouTube and podcast. Do tell a friend about Money Convos so we all become wealthy together. Talk to you soon. Bye.